not everyone's that great at what they do. So maybe you should try to be great at what you can do. And I learned that I can try to beat this cancer. And I know that everyone's saying that you have a 15% chance and you're gonna die and you're losing so much weight. What are you gonna do? And just because of that, it fueled me. It made me want to prove everyone wrong. It made me want to just show everyone that I can be healthy. I can have a happy life. I don't have to get these weird looks from people. I can do it. Hi, my name is Mason Saldana, and I'm here over at the Meditation Center at Don Cook University, Los Angeles. It's because I'm practicing traditional Chinese medicine and I'm a student here, and I figured it'd be a good place to talk. This entire year that we've had since 2020 has been pretty rough, and it's due to something called coronavirus disease 2019, or COVID-19 for short. It seems that none of us can go out anymore, do anything, and we have to care about our health constantly every single day. It reminds me of something. It reminds me of myself, because I also have been dealing with that. I studied Chinese medicine because once upon a time I was diagnosed with cancer called desmoplastic small round cell tumor, or DSRCT for short. But because of this, I'm here today. And that was back in 2017. And I am so damn happy where I am because I found the good. I come from a family of 5. They're all a bunch of party animals, including myself. I love having fun, and so do they. And that's all we usually did growing up. But we never had anyone sick in our family. So no one had to deal with trauma or depression or just bad issues. Bad stuff happened around us, but not to us. My mom is such a loving soul. But she hates confrontation. My dad, he is a retired Metro police detective. He is also very fun. Everyone thinks he's the coolest. I love him too. But he was very strict. And his job was busting hookers. So growing up as a kid, I never really got to know who he was or how he grew up or who his heroes were or his idols. I thought of him more as maybe someone like Batman who takes care of the bad guys and scares them away, but he just can't tell me about that stuff. I watched so much Batman along with a whole bunch of other cartoons as a kid. They were my heroes. My oldest brother, Ashton, is the biggest physically, strong, fun-loving guy. Didn't excel in school, but it doesn't matter. He still loves life and shows it, you can tell. My older brother, Landon, the middle child, is everything that Ashton is, but also very, very charismatic, gets with all the chicks, and I've been jealous of him the majority of my life. Thinking about myself when I grew up, I thought I got all the leftover genes. I thought my parents gave all the cool stuff to them, and I was left over with the weirdo stuff. I was the dork, band geek, and didn't really care about doing sports. I kind of just like, doing arts and crafts and hanging out with friends and playing tag. And then in 8th grade, my dad says, Mason, get up. I was like, why? He said, you have practice. I was like, practice for what? He's like, for wrestling. I was like, why am I going to wrestling? He's like, well, you tried bowling and you tried golf and you're not bowling or golfing and you need to get a college scholarship. So you're in wrestling. I was like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay. I'll get buff. That's cool. That's a benefit. I stopped being that dorky band geek. But then moved on into college, got a scholarship. And then the next task from my dad said, now you need to go and get into the military. I told him, why do I have to go in the military? He said, because you can get those veteran benefits after you're done. You'll have a great life. He wants the best for me. Okay, all right, I got it. I asked my professor, Professor Rick Gibson. I told him, hey, I am going into the military. I think. I have just signed the papers and then I'm in. He's like, well, why do you want to go? And I told him, well, my dad. He's like, stop. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, if you don't want to go, you don't have to go. I was like, what? This was the first time I realized that actually I have a choice in my life and I don't have to follow my dad's rules. I thought about it because when he told me that I don't have to listen to my dad, I don't have to go in the military, that destroyed my plans. I invested $100,000 in school already for an aeronautics degree because I spent $40,000 in helicopter pilot private license. So now I'm about $140,000 in the hole. I'm thinking, if I change my direction now, that's a lot of money just ate up. And I chose to go get a master's after that in safety science because that was the only thing I thought was interesting that I could probably pivot over to and still use my education and try to scrounge up whatever I could get left and still have a good life that's still on track. I'm going to start deciding what I want to do for my life. I'm not going to live your life. I'm not going to go into the military. I'm not going to get veteran benefits. I'm not going to get structured and ordered because I'm already happy with myself. I don't need to be more structured and ordered. I want to do a job that I like, that I'm passionate about. May 26, 2017. I'm alone with my girlfriend that we've been dating for the last 5 months. I loved her. We loved each other. We're in mad love. And on May 26, 2017, a friend comes and gives us a letter that says, I have 15% chance to live at least 5 more years. I was thinking, you know what? I got this far in life, and I took care of those other mistakes. Maybe I can take care of this thing. Family reacted to my diagnosis in the worst way, emotionally. On that surface, on the outside, everything was great. They were saying that we support you, let's get some fundraisers going, let's tell everyone, you got this, you will beat this, no problem. But if you get below the surface, then you'll see that they're so confused and so lost and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to deal with bad things that go on in the world. So now, when this cancer is happening, almost my entire family has become alcoholics. And then I look at my girlfriend, who is sobbing and crying and just Googling like no other, looking for all other answers than the one that we already saw, which was a 15% chance. And all I wanted to do at that moment was make sure that she just wasn't crying anymore. I didn't even care about myself. At that time, I was still partying all the time. I didn't think that I was ever going to get sick. I thought that I don't get cancer. It's impossible. It's never going to happen to me. I'm Mason. and then everything stops. What I wanted to do, since I love my girlfriend so much and she was already dropping hints, that, you know what, before I die, this is what I want to do. I want to marry someone, have kids, and save some lives. So she's already been dropping hints for me. What I'm going to do instead is propose to her, and then since she's not from this country, maybe I'll get her a green card, and also maybe I'll get her pregnant, and maybe I'll have a son and a family before I potentially go away, because 85% of people who get this disease die within 5 years. I proposed to her, and then that woman that I proposed to, that we eventually married, I go through all that chemotherapy. I lose all of my hair. I'm throwing up. I'm losing weight. I'm on all these drugs. Then I have surgery in January 2018. And then during that time, I have all the cancer treatments that you can ever think of. They took out 177 tumors, 2 big grapefruits. I had a high-tech procedure. They pour in hot chemotherapy into your body. And then radiation for a whole month, which means that I'm tapped out on radiation. Now I can't have any more. There's too much inside my body. Along with more chemotherapy, all the way up until June. And that woman that I love is now done with me. She sent me an email saying, I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm suffocating. I'm drowning. I'm so sad. Everyone only cares about you. Nobody cares about me at all. You're a monster. You're always lashing out. I was addicted to painkillers and Dilaudid. That was my best friend. It gave me at least a minute of no pain, which I would kill for. I got so angry when I didn't get any drugs, when there was any lag time in between. I was addicted. I was bipolar. I was depressed. And now the person that I thought I would want to be with for the rest of my life, even when my life wasn't even that much longer, wants to divorce me already when I'm on my deathbed. With my mom, she would say, honey, you'll be okay. You'll make it. Everything's all right. You're doing great. And then I know that she's crying after she's saying that. I'm 100 pounds, sitting on a really uncomfortable chair because my butt is so bony because I'm so skinny. I'm only eating through my bloodstream because I can't eat anything through my stomach. All of that treatment that I had is rejecting me. Now my GI system is completely shutting down. The doctors don't know what to do. The nurses don't know what to do. Nobody knows what to do. My dad is completely lost. The cool, confident guy that I thought I could trust with everything in my life and guide me in the right direction, even though sometimes he didn't guide me in the right direction. I still looked to him, and he couldn't do anything. How could he? These people with these giant degrees couldn't. So he felt defeated. I had no good relationships with anyone in my immediate family. Oldest brother, Ashton, at the time I was so angry. All I wanted to do is just say, get out. You're not helping me. You're just making me more sick and more sad. And then same with my older brother, Landon, who I'm so jealous about. Now, he is abusing alcohol because he's so used to being happy all the time. We never deal with anything bad. And now this is the first thing that we don't know how to deal with. You can't fake this, but I bet you can drink through it. I have my wife who is suicidal and saying that she doesn't want to live anymore because I'm ruining her life. I'm causing so much pain and suffering to everyone immediately around me. And I'm so tired of it because I'm Ned. It's no evidence of disease, what every person with cancer wishes for. The one thing that you want. I asked myself in that hospital room, I was like, I made it. I'm Ned. Why am I so sad? Why am I have such a terrible life? They didn't say this is what happens when you get rid of cancer. They say you have a happy life. Not that you're getting divorced on your deathbed and your entire family hates you. Not to mention, when I got married, I like to think this, I inspired my friend, my best friend, to get married also. So when I was in there, my friend asked me to be the best man for his wedding and then talk on FaceTime. And I just couldn't. I felt too shameful about my own situation, my own relationship with everyone around me. I wrote something for him, but I never shared it on FaceTime with anyone. I wrote something else though during that time I'd like to share with you. I'm not a poet, but after the first time my ex-wife asked me for divorce and we cleaned things up, and I made things a little bit better with everyone around me, I decided to express myself because I have nothing else to do inside this hospital room other than look at a paper and a pencil. It's called cancer. Growing inside of me, I see not. Stranger inside of me, making me rot. I see you now through computer imagery, shown to me and proven by chemistry. I see you now, but I'll see you later. For your stay inside of me will wither and waver. But you haven't left completely. You've had me gain something discreetly. A sort of knowledge, you can say. A sort of wisdom learned through each day. I guess you can say you made me into this, a better person in bliss. That was my first time being creative in a long time and really expressing my soul and myself. And it felt good. It felt so good. A pastor came in also during that time when I was in the hospital and asked me, "How do you feel?" And I told him, "I feel content." It's like, "What do you mean?" I felt like I accepted reality. I felt happy with what I was doing because I was doing the best that I could. And that's all anyone can ever ask of you. I learned that being vulnerable and being emotional and opening yourself up is so much more valuable than just expressing fun and being happy. You have to enjoy also the emotional sadness because it's a part of who you are. You can't just reject that. I didn't think that because I was suffering for such a long time that my life was terrible. Because if you ask any nurse or any doctor, any person inside the hospital floor, even though I was suffering and surviving off of pain medication from happy episode to happy episode, I was still cracking smiles and cracking jokes. And even if there were nurses and just so many nurses, the hottest nurses you can think of, they put these giant enemas up your butt. It's so embarrassing. And oh well, but it just makes you feel like, wow, this is life. Make the best of it. You might as well. I mean, like you could suffer for 30 days, 2 months inside the hospital, or you can try to put a smile on your face 2 months inside the hospital. I make poems now so that I can try to be as vulnerable as I was back then in the hospital. I do a lot of things now. I do Tai Chi, like you saw. I do Qigong. I spread love as much as possible. I know how dark the world can get. I know how mean people can be. I was one of them myself. I was an addict. I was an asshole. I was bipolar. I was depressed. I was vicious. I was a monster. I hated myself. I truly did not like myself. And instead, I decided to learn from all of those experiences. And if I can be that evil, then other people can too. And when they are, I don't hate them for it. That's life. It's just circumstances. It's just the way that they perceive the world. I know that you shouldn't do that. I know that you should be confident in who you are and believe in yourself no matter what. That's what I learned when the doctors told me that I wouldn't ever eat again because of all the treatments that I've had. I would have to either eat out of tube feeding or out of my bloodstream for the rest of my life. I'm about to show you something. Here's a scar from before. They said that I would never eat normally again, but thanks to Chinese medicine, acupuncture, Tai Chi, Qigong, and hyperbaric oxygen therapy, I healed my body and I proved everyone wrong. I have this confidence in myself that I've never had ever before. And I have these relationships with my family that I've never had ever before. Now we bask in sadness. Now we talk about our emotions. Now we open up. You don't have to just be a good person and follow all the rules. You can still mess up and still love each other. I didn't know that before. I was taught before from my old relationships in the past that if you mess up, I'm going to break up with you. I'm going to leave you. It made me never want to make a mistake ever in my life and never trust myself and never believe in myself because I always let other people tell me that I don't like you. It's because you suck. And I'm like, you're right. I don't do that anymore. I care so much more about myself. I have so much more self-love because of so much Eastern medicine that I do for myself. So many herbs I take every day, like 3 times a day. All the tea, all the Tai Chi and Qigong. I love it. I'm living my best life. And it all is all initiated by cancer. I love you all. I know that you can be, not your best at sometimes. I know that you can be not your greatest. You can be your worst, but it's okay. You can learn from your mistakes. You just keep living your life. Don't let your emotions control you. You can feel your emotions, but just feel them. Don't reject them. Don't drink them away. Don't smoke them away. Just feel them and just be in the moment, because being in the moment is so much better than thinking about what happened in the past or what was going to happen in the future. You could get cancer. Who cares what happens in the future? Just live in the moment today. Can you look back at your worst times of torture and torment and find the good? Because I can. Thank you.